probably gonna kill me tonight. So if I do wind up on the news on TMZ, I was found dead. Being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, you know, bullshit sometimes. And
get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on...
Terrence Howard recently dropped some shocking revelations. He claims that 50 Cent actually tried to pull Bryshere Gray away from Diddy's bizarre inner circle. Most folks thought Bryshere disappeared after Empire ended, but Terrence says what happened was far darker than just bad choices or poor mental health. It was something much more twisted. And it allegedly involves some big names: Diddy, Will Smith, and a whole web of powerful men. Bryshere, aka Yazz the Greatest, went from performing on the streets of Philly to becoming a Hollywood star overnight. But nobody tells you about the dangers that come with that level of fame when you're young, inexperienced, and surrounded by predators. He wasn't even out of his teens before he started being mentored, or more like managed, by industry titans, like Lee Daniels, Will Smith, and Charlie Mack.
My man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline, and he's gonna be all right.
It's like Uncle Will,
But behind the scenes, it was like Bryshere was just fresh meat being passed around. Jaguar Wright has been vocal about this for years. She claims Bryshere wasn't just cast aside, he was used. Jaguar even alleged that Bryshere once fled Will.
Yeah.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August, the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Jaguar says she once begged his mother to get him away from Charlie Mack. She tried everything to get Bryshere out of California and back to safety in Chicago.
Say, Andy, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'ma kick you in your and I'ma go to work North Philly style. Kill and Charlie. You happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you.
Allegedly, this tape features Diddy and Will with Jaden and Justin present. If that's true, it's beyond disturbing. Jaguar insists the tape exists and is being held over Bryshere to keep him quiet. If it's real, and it's a big if, though. Not unbelievable anymore. It's not just a scandal. It could bring Hollywood's darkest secrets into full view. Bryshere's life started spiraling after all this.
Came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever.
In 2020, news broke about a violent domestic incident involving his wife. Nobody even knew he was married, and the story was brutal. His wife fled to a stranger's home begging for help, saying she had been beaten for hours. She passed out from the injuries, all allegedly sparked by her confronting him about infidelity. While Bryshere denied it, his wife said he blamed someone named Mark for the assault. But now Bryshere is reportedly telling people that what happened to him wasn't random. It was the result of long-term trauma. Fame comes with a price. When everyone knows your real name, your identity is no longer yours. He says it's a gift and a curse. If what he's saying is true, it all traces back to Will and Diddy. What they allegedly did to him, what they pushed him into, and how. They left him to fall. He only spent 10 days in jail for that domestic case, but the emotional and career damage went far deeper. His fall was sudden, but maybe not accidental. Maybe it was engineered. The whispers have been there all along. What? If Bryshere didn't just drop off the radar but was pushed, people are starting to connect the dots. Mentorship in this industry sometimes means something else entirely: coercion, power games, and silence. And now Terrence Howard is speaking up. In a recent interview, he dropped a bomb. He said Diddy tried to pull him into the same twisted world. Terrence described how Diddy kept inviting him over, supposedly to help with acting. At first, it sounded harmless. Terrence thought he was going to coach Diddy, but when he showed up, there was no script. Diddy just stared at him. It felt wrong. Then he invited Terrence over again, this time to listen to music. Again, nothing happened. Just silence and weird energy. Terrence's assistant eventually told him straight up, "I think he's trying to get with you." That's when Terrence walked away and never looked back. He said that wasn't the only time something like this happened. He's had multiple Hollywood producers approach him inappropriately, and he never tolerated it. When someone questions your manhood like that, you react. A real man responds differently than someone who's just playing along.
I just love what I do, but what I do, it comes with a lot of bullshit. For real. You know, everybody knows your government name. No, not 30. I mean, a couple people knowing your government name is cool, but when motherfuckers, like 30 billion people know your government name, anybody can do anything. It's just like, I'm not normal no more. It's a gift and a curse.
Trying to sue him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
Many can't cope with what they did. They turn to drugs, lose themselves. He mentioned seeing that pain in stars like Justin Bieber. That guilt can eat you alive. They end up broken, trying to erase what happened, but the industry doesn't. Let you forget. The business strips away your values if you let it. That's what happens to the women who trade their bodies for roles, and it's no different for men.